Hey guys, JJstarter here, and Sunday. Hi guys. I didn't get a video out yesterday. I was taking care of my girlfriend. She was sick, and man, I was just exhausted. But I'm here today, and welcome to JJstarter Stand Up. I guess you could call this part 2 or part 3 because I've done a few, but they've been kind of mixed in with other stuff. So I'm gonna call this the official part 2. Alright, and I'm actually sitting today. I'm not even kneeling, I'm sitting, but, you know, if I get excited, I'll pop up and be as I normally am. So let's see. What's a good story? Story time / stand-up, as you guys know. Let's do... I got one. Alright, so I bumped into my friend Troy. Great dude. About this tall. I remember him when he was about this tall. He's actually about this tall. And I remember when he was about this tall, but... you know. So he's one of my good friends, and he reminded me, I was just talking to him last Wednesday or Wednesday before, not sure. I was talking to him, and he reminded me of this story. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know. So this story is kind of fun because it involves one of my past exes. You'll probably hear a lot of these stories. So, there was this girl that I dated for 2-3 weeks, and she was pretty hot. I won't lie, she was pretty. And to keep her identity safe, we're gonna call her Crazy K. Okay. Okay. Actually, this doesn't even mean okay, doesn't it? It means something else. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna call her Crazy K. Now, the reason we actually called her this when she wasn't around, because if you ever met her, you would understand. I mean, she was just... no one was home. And it's not like she was ditzy. There's a difference between being ditzy and crazy. I've dealt with ditzy people. They're funny. You know, they just things don't click. But I mean, she was gone. And this story will kind of... so me, Troy, and her were hanging out one day before church, and she was extra weird. And she had convinced herself that she was a vampire. Not only was she a vampire, ready for this, she was like a vampire princess. Okay. Now, at the time, I was thinking about getting with her. You know, my version of getting with a girl when I was that age was making out with a girl. So I would just want to make out with her, and so I kind of just ignored the crazy because I was like, so what? She's crazy. Who cares? So we're outside, we're hanging out. She's telling us that she's this vampire princess, and that she's got guardians all around her that we can't see them because they're hiding in trees like ninjas. So now she has ninja, vampire, royal guards protecting her while we're talking to her. So you know, I'm like, I want to make out with this chick. She's hot. I'm gonna play with the story. I'm gonna play along. And I'm just going to take this as far as I can take it. Now, unfortunately, my poor friend Troy had no idea I had decided this because there was no way to tell him without her hearing me. So I think he thought I was completely insane. No, not afraid of me. He just thought I was completely insane. Because I started telling her, I'm like, well, you know, I'm a different breed altogether. I'm not quite a werewolf, I'm not quite a man. And I came up with this whole convoluted story about, I had these, it was like a pack, like a werewolf pack, but different. We weren't quite werewolves, we weren't quite humans, we were a mixed breed. Which, I don't know how you guys can see this. I have a tooth and a half right here. My tooth actually, it's one of my sharp teeth. or canine teeth as they call them. It literally, normal one's about this big and has your mouth and it's big tooth, for gnashing. This one, it's literally the size of like a normal tooth and a half a normal tooth. It's a huge tooth. And I have no idea how it happened, but yeah, it's hard to see. I mean, if you're in person looking at my face and you're kind of like this, you're like, oh, holy shit, he's got a tooth that's like ginormous. Luckily, it doesn't like shit out, I guess, because then I'd look like a pit bull all the time, and that would not help me because I'm already, I'm sexy. But yeah, so we're out there, and I just start pouring into this. I'm like, yeah, we're a mixed breed of werewolves and humans. We come together. And she's kind of digging it, She's like, yeah, alright, werewolf, vampire, alright. My friend Troy's sitting there like, y'all crazy. But, he doesn't want to say anything because he's like, last thing you want to do to two crazy people is tell them that they're crazy. So he's sitting there like, I can see it on his face. He's going, what the? These guys are crazy. I mean, they're... And so we're out there. I'm like, all right. So, what you want to do? And she's like, I don't know. I'm waiting. My guardians are gonna pick me up, and my uncle, he's rich because he's a vampire. And so he's rich, and he has guardians watching me all the time. All the time, they watch me. So we're out there, and I don't know what possessed me to do this. But I was like, I'll call my boys. I was like, and it broke me. It broke character. It broke me. It broke Troy. It broke us. And she's sitting there like, and I'm like, I start laughing. Troy's like, oh my god, that was the worst sound anything I've ever heard. Oh my god, what was that? What just came out? And we're just dying laughing, and she's sitting there like, what? And we're like, oh my god, you're so crazy. We had a few fun times hanging out with her, and I did make out with her actually eventually, but oh, it was fun. That was one of my favorite times. It was just me, Troy, we hung out with her a few times. One time we were out there before church, and we're chilling and we're hanging out, and oh man, I was just telling Troy about a dream I had, and I had this really weird dream where my friend Mikey had ended up. It was like the end of the world, and God had done the the rapture thing, where takes him up to heaven, and Satan like came up through hell, and he was like, this world is mine, and like there was no full on war broke out between heaven, hell, and earth. And I had this dream in 2002, so just saying, if I start getting comments, because I've told this story to people before and they start leaving comments, or well, they don't leave comments because I'm telling them in person, but they tell me, oh really, you had a dream that's kind of the premise to Darksiders? Yeah, before Darksiders was even a game, jackass. And actually it was, Darksiders is based off of, the mythology and the Christianity and the multiple different things that write that this is how the apocalypse will happen. So I kind of knew about it before it was a game. Anyways, so I was telling him about I had this weird dream where like heaven and hell had waged a war against each other, and my friend Mikey was this like ultimate neutral warrior who like stayed on Earth. Like he was offered to come to heaven, and he was like, no, I shall not join either side. I shall be my own man. And he had this giant like kind of like cloud sword off of Final Fantasy VII, just this huge great sword. And he was whoa! And he was like this BA warrior, and he was like brutally murdering demons and angels, and nothing could get past him, and he was there to pretty much Michael. Heaven was assaulting hell, and hell was assaulting heaven and earth, but while heaven was killing hell, the angels were mistaking certain humans for being on the demons team, so they just kill humans, and then the humans started attacking heaven, and pretty much everyone just started killing each other. Michael decided that he was going to be the guardians of the humans left on Earth to protect them from both heaven and hell. And it was an amazing dream, and I still remember it vividly. I loved the dream. I mean, oh my god, sometimes you have dreams that you just wake up and you're like, yes, I remember. It was so good. I love that excitement. But yeah, so I was telling Troy about this dream that I had, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, and it was just like, he was like killing people, and he's defending humans, and I ran into him in my dream, and I was just a normal dude. And she Crazy K shows up, and she showed up, and she's like, oh, I had a dream. Oh my god, I had this dream. Well, it wasn't really a dream, it actually happened, but it was kind of like a dream, because I went out with my vampire. Oh my god. This woman could talk your ear off about her vampire family that didn't exist for hours. And I'm telling you this right now, if vampires do exist and this is their princess, I feel bad for you, because there's no way you're making it another generation. Okay? Just saying. Oh my god, she was chat. And me and Troy were sitting there, and we were like, oh yeah, because we just didn't feel like putting up with her that day. And we're like, oh yeah. And then we ended up being out there, and we're too awkward to say, hey, shut the f up, we gotta go inside. That we were out there for half the service, and we weren't paying attention. We didn't have cell phones at the time, so we're just sitting there listening to her chat. And one of the security guards comes up and goes, hey, what are you guys doing out here? And we're like, ducking? And he's like, you know JJstarter, right? And we're like, oh. He's like, oh, yeah, JJstarter. You guys might want to go get in there. And we're like, oh, yeah, thank you. And so me and him book off and ran into church. I tell you what, I've never been so excited for a security guard to yell at me and tell me to get in church. I was so happy. Didn't want to sit there for another hour and a half listening to this chick talk about how she, oh my god, what was it? She told us one time that she could climb walls if she had the right environment. She could climb up a wall like a spider because of her vampiric ability during some sort of... She had, I mean, like, if she wrote a book on her own crazy, it would be one of the most detailed books in history. I mean, she had an answer for everything that didn't make sense. Her answers didn't make sense, but she had an answer that she thought made sense with whatever question you could pose. I mean, it was just... It was quite phenomenal, actually. I was really impressed. But, yeah. So, that's my story, guys. Today's story about Crazy K, stand-up / storytelling. I think I'll put on more of these. These are fun. I like telling you guys about my life, and you guys clearly like seeing them. So leave a comment below if you have a suggestion of some part of my life that you want to hear about. More girlfriends, my best friend Tyler, who has been called my boyfriend a few times, or my sisters, my blood sister, her boyfriend Corey, my mom, pretty much just ask me anything about my life. Comment below, let me know what you want to see. I'll get it out to you and I'll answer you. Because you know what? I love you guys. So, as always, it's JJstarter, signing